We talked to Coach Austin Dobbs earlier before the season, and he said that the goal this year is to make the playoffs. No reason to believe that they won't make the playoffs, and we've touched on it a little bit during the broadcast tonight, but it's a roster that is a little bit deeper than it has been in the past few years. 40 people on the roster, 40 players on this roster. It's dominated with sophomores and juniors, 7 seniors who contribute and bought this lineup, but mostly sophomores and juniors, especially at the skill position. The offensive line starts one senior, Austin McCurry, at center, a junior, Cade Bartlett, at guard, his brother sophomore Sawyer Bartlett at the other guard position, and then 2 more sophomores, Lucas Shannon, Chance Coffin on the offensive line. Those guys are really talented, but kind of young, and we mentioned the skill position players earlier. Mason Martin at running back, Bowden, Hageman, Horse, all those guys are juniors. And this team is really talented, and again, the defense anchored by the linebacker play of Mitchell, John Davis, and Austin Martin Trussell, Blake Mitchell, John Davis, and Austin Martin Trussell. So we're about 2 minutes from the second half kickoff. We're going to take a 2-minute break here, and we'll get you ready for second half action. You're listening to Red Devil Football on 100.9 Quick FM and Red Devil Media Productions. You should. Red Devils have come over to Perry County to take on the Mustangs. The horn just sounded after halftime, and the officials are signaling to put 3 more minutes back on the clock. The Perryville Mustangs have just made their way onto the field. The Red Devils have been out there for just about a minute, starting their warm-ups. So looks like we're going to have just a few more minutes before we get ready for second half action. The Red Devils will be kicking off to the Perryville Mustangs to start the second half. And a few raindrops have started to fall. Seeing some umbrellas come out. We do have some showers in the area. Pretty good line of storms moved through, just skirted this area a little while ago. Looked like they were headed toward Atkins. So rain was in the forecast. May be a factor in the second half. We're going to take another 2-minute break, and we'll come back and get you ready for the second half kickoff. You're listening to Red Devil Football on 100.9 Quick FM and Red Devil Media Productions.
is starting to pour down here in Perryville, Arkansas.
What was a shower just a couple of minutes ago has now become a pretty steady downpour as the teams take the field to get ready for second half action.
Got a bit of a gully washer here. A little damp, if you will.
Not quite a toad strangler yet, but no, we may be trending in that direction.
Not sure it would make Noah and the Ark jealous yet, but it's a good bit of rain. Good bit of rain. Going to make for some slippery conditions. Probably going to be hard to throw the ball here in the second half.
I would think so. That may play a factor in what we see in the second half.
Good thing for the Red Devil offense is if it gets hard to throw the ball, it's time to turn the Martin brothers loose. Let's let Jaden and Mason get after it. Perryville has also not struggled to run the ball either. They've got some hard runners on their side as well.
First item of business is taking care of this kick coverage as King Reeves gets set to tee it off.
Perryville has dominated Atkins on kickoffs tonight. Reeves with the arm up. Moving towards the ball, and a booming kick there, line drive. Picked up and fumbled down there at the 15-yard line. Atkins cannot get him contained. He's busting around to the right side again. It'll be shoved out of bounds around the 36-yard line of Perryville. At least the Red Devils kept him from going across the midfield.
Yeah, and that was, you wonder if the rain played a factor there. Ball was not fielded cleanly on the kickoff there by Jacob Soji, and looked like he had a knee on the ground when he picked it up, but got it scooped up, went to the left, cut back to the right, found some room, and takes it out to the 35, where Perryville will begin their first possession of the second half.
Atkins takes over on defense here. Connor Frith back under center again. There's a handoff from Perryville. He is met at the line by number 31, Blake Mitchell. Not today, good sir. Not going to make it very far with Blake Mitchell on you.
Just a gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards. Blake Mitchell coming up from that linebacker spot to make a sure tackle.
Perryville looking to receive the play. Got some communication. Still got 4 men out wide in a trips formation. Takes the snap. Handoff. Met at the line by the Atkins defense. And that is number 70, Solomon Lytle, coming up with a big tackle for loss.
Solomon Lytle along with Jaden Martin snuffed that one out. No gain. Maybe a loss of about a half yard to bring it third down and long.
Atkins looking to get a stop here early, maybe go 3 and out. Not what the Mustangs want to do. Going to be 3 and 9, 3 and 8.5 for the Mustangs here. Empty backfield for Frith. Takes the snap, looks to his left side. He's got a receiver there, but he is met in the backfield. The Red Devils, Jaden Martin stood him up there behind the line for a sack.
Huge play on third down by Jaden Martin.
Red Devils coming out with a little vinegar in their water for this second half.
Fire in their belly the second half. Good first defensive stand to open the second half. They were forced to punt.
Great job by that Red Devil front 7 bringing a stop to the run game of Perryville. Mustangs back to punt. Snap goes over his head. Atkins is back there trying to get a stop. Here we go, broken play here. Atkins is going to get a turnover on downs down at the 30-yard line of Perryville. Great field position for Atkins to start this second half.
High snap there. Kenny Rivas, Blake Mitchell. Back there to stop the Perryville punter after he finally corralled that errant snap. Snap was set up with great field position just outside the Perryville 30.
You know, the rain has something to do with this. It is a sloppy mess down there on that field right now. No, the rain has calmed. Crawford with the handoff to Jaden Martin, number 8. Getting a few yards of hard running. We've got a penalty on the play, though. From the Atkins. We got a face mask against the defense. Going to work out for the Red Devils' favor.
We'll see if it's a 5-yard variety or 15. It is going to be a 5-yard mark-off.
Called an inadvertent face mask. Going to move Atkins down to the 25-yard line. Crawford in the backfield with Martin beside him. Hands off to Martin. Kept it himself. There was a fake, but got nowhere. Met in the backfield by that Perryville defense.
Number 6, Wyatt Drennan came in to make the stop for Perryville. Quarterback Reed there. Put it in the belly of the running back, Jaden Martin. Cole pulled it out. 2 Perryville defenders right there on top of him. Nowhere to go. Lost a couple of yards. It'll be second and about 8.
Cole tried to make a spin move, just didn't have anywhere to go. He did not have good real estate company. Handoff again to Mason Martin, number 29. He's making some moves, gets some headway. Doesn't look like enough to get a first down. Hard running again by Mason Martin.
A couple of good cuts there, but Connor Frith, the Perryville quarterback, came up to make the stop there from his defensive back position.
Looks like it's going to be third and about 4 for the Red Devils here down at the Perryville 26-yard line, excuse me.
Need to get to about the 20 for a first down.
We got offsides there. Great job by Cole Crawford. Taking a page out of Connor Fritz's book, drawing the defense offsides.
You know, Cole did that really effectively last year, and we saw Perryville use that in the first half to pick up some easy yards, and Cole returns the favor here, and that's enough for a first down.
Going to be first and 10 for the Red Devils. Down at the 21-yard line, headed towards the goal. Crawford takes the snap. Handoff to Mason Martin. He's trying to make it around. He dances around. He is headed towards the end zone. Great moves to pick up some very crucial yardage here for Mason Martin.
Yeah, good running there by Mason. Just some jump cuts, finding some open real estate, gets the ball down just inside the 10.
It's going to be first and goal, waiting on the chain gang. Here we go. They snap the ball. Jaden Martin with the ball, trying to get to the end zone. Oh, he gets a fumble on the play. Fumble on the play. Perryville says they have it.
And they do.
And they do. Crucial error there by the Red Devils. The rain has made it slippery, and Perryville has taken advantage of it. That's going to be a first and 10. Perryville down inside the 10-yard line. That looks to be on about the 2 or 3 yard line down there.
Yeah, Jaden just trying to get the ball into the end zone and making some cuts, and like you said, the ball may be a little slick from the rain that we've had here, and out Perryville jumped on it alertly.
Connor Frith in the shadow of the goalpost there. He's going to take it himself right up the middle. He is met by Blake Mitchell. Number 31 for the Red Devils going to make that tackle. But not before he gets away from that goal line. I know that can be a stressful thing to be standing and snapping the ball, standing in your own goal.
Yeah, he was about 5 yards deep in the end zone, and no doubt about it, when he got the ball, he was just going to go right up the middle, try to get a little breathing room. Dayton Rawlings also in on that stop, and when Blake Mitchell had him stood up, Dayton came in and was trying to swat the ball out.
Red Devils looking to make a stop here. Connor Frith takes the ball, empty backfield. It's another design quarterback play. He's stopped at the line. What a shot. What a shot by the Red Devil defense.
John Davis getting up off the bottom of that pile. Ethan Langley came in to help out on that one as well.
Seeing John Davis coming at you full speed is a scary thing. That man is a stone wall brick house.
Yep. He's a heat-seeking missile when it comes to the football. We saw that last year.
Just think, he's got a whole other year to play.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go again. Connor Frith outsmarting the Red Devil front men again. An offsides penalty against the Red Devils.
That's going to give Perryville a first down.
Perryville's going to have the ball here, first and 10 on their own 15-yard line.
In the middle of that Red Devil defense, jumped on the hard count. Camden Newby, Dayton Rawlings. Eager to get in there and make a play, just a little too eager.
Flip back. Little jet sweep play there. Passes it off. Atkins we have a flag on the play. Atkins does wrestle him out of bounds there.
That's going to be a hold. That's the second time tonight that Jaden Martin has been tackled.
With a Red Devil down on the play over there. We have a Red Devil that is down. Cannot see who it is.
Trying to see who's up. See if I can figure out by process of elimination who that is, and can't tell. We are going to have a hold at about the 10-yard line.
Atkins and Perryville coach Seth both seeing to the injured Red Devil.
And I apologize for not being able to tell who that is. They're all the way across the field from our Olathe Realty broadcast booth position. Looks like they're helping him up now.
He is on his feet.
There's Blake Mitchell, number 31, a linebacker, junior linebacker.
Scott, you don't want to see anybody go down with an injury, but for the Red Devils, you surely do not want to see that beast on defense go down.
You know, and Blake is limping off. He has dealt with some injuries in the offseason. And I hope he hasn't re-aggravated what he's been dealing with. He is walking gingerly off the field.
But under his own power.
Yeah. Kellen Wofford has come on to replace the injured Blake Mitchell. And after the penalty yardage is stepped off, Perryville is going to have the ball at their own 5-yard line.
We give Atkins on a late substitution. Sawyer Bartlett coming in, number 56, running onto the field. Frith in the backfield, got a man to his left. He's going to snap the ball. Looks to his right. Nobody there. Great defense by Atkins. That was out. It's incomplete. That was close.
Yeah.
The Red Devil defense sniffed that one out. They weren't having it.
Perryville trying to set up a screen there. Jaden Martin wasn't having any of it. Saw it all the way, came in to deliver the hit, knocked the ball loose. Perryville is going to be looking at 2nd and 20. 5:23 left in the third quarter. We're tied at 12.
Back to take the snap. He hands it. Nope, fakes a handoff. Throws it on the little screenplay here. Gets some good yardage, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough to get down to a Perryville first down.
He's going to be a couple yards short, but it brings up a 3rd and very manageable 2.
Got a wide open playbook here. Wide open playbook. Wouldn't be surprised to see him trying to draw the front men of Atkins off sides again. Whoa, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Powerful stand by the Atkins Red Devil defense. Not in this house.
Solomon Waddle coming in. Wide Hearn. Red Devil D read that all the way.
Red Devil defense standing on business tonight. Getting ready for the punt. We've got number 11, Tanner Hageman, back to receive it. Hageman had some good yardage last year, all-purpose yards, kind of a jack of all trades.
Some confusion here now. We got a couple of officials who were saying 3rd down. And we've got the one on our side signaling 4th down. It should be 4th down.
Yes, it should be 4th down. Not sure why there's this mass confusion.
It was 3rd and short, and then the Red Devils came up with a big stop, so should be 4th down, no question about that.
This Atkins defense has made a great stop here.
It is fourth down.
There's correction here. We've got a sub. We've got mass subs going on with Perryville.
They had their offense out. Now they bring their punt unit on.
Again, number 11 for the Red Devils, Tanner Hegeman, the junior, is back to receive this punt. And the punt is away, almost blocked. Look up, you got to be heads up. The ball is going to roll dead at around the 48-49 yard line. Atkins is going to be taken over here.
Sawyer Bartlett applied pressure there. Got close to getting his hand on it, but they were able to get the punt away. Rolls across the 50. The Devils are set up at their own 49-yard line to start this possession.
I imagine Jaden Martin is ready to get back on the field, giving up that fumble down at the goal line before. Probably going to be coming into this drive looking for vengeance.
Yeah, I want to make up for putting the ball on the turf inside the 5-yard line just a little while ago.
Red Devils with an interesting lineup here. Handoff, Jaden Martin right down the middle, powerful running. Comes to a stop right around the 44-yard line. It's going to bring it to about about 2nd and 3 for the Red Devils.
We've got clock issues that the officials are going to have to get together and sort out and address.
You're right, Scott. We've got some more confusion that's happening here.
It's week 0. Everybody's getting their bearings here.
It took us a little while to get our bearings as well. I'm not sure we have our bearings. Then again, we're pastors.
We're closer than we were.
We are. Every day. They're saying there's 3 minutes and 9 seconds left on the clock.
The clock is rolling.
It should not be rolling. Well, yes, it should. Crawford takes the snap, hands it off, and he is met at the line. My goodness, that was a blown play. Blown play. Mason Martin met behind the line by some of those Perryville defenders.
Yeah, that was Connor Frith coming up to plug the hole, meeting Mason Martin in the backfield. Loss of a couple of yards there.
Connor Frith proved to be an Iron Man tonight, doing it all on offense and defense for the Mustangs. Scott, I was not one that had the stamina to be able to play both sides of the ball. It was offensive line only. Crawford back to pass, has his receiver on his right side. And he has broken it up big. There's number 29, Mason Martin, with a tremendous catch and run for the Red Devils. That is a first down, Atkins.
Great conversion there on 3rd and long. Mason picked up a couple of good blocks. Gavin Bowden blocking downfield. Jaden Martin coming out to clear the path for his little brother. Able to convert, keep this Red Devil drive alive with 2:07 left on the clock.
Atkins is going to have a 1st and 10 right here at the Perryville 37-yard line, headed towards the end zone. Crawford ready to receive the snap. He takes it, takes a handoff. He's got a receiver on the screen. Mason Martin again, gone to the left side. Mason Martin, he is headed to the end zone. That is a touchdown, Red Devils.
Mason Martin took a shot after he crossed the goal line. No flags.
What a catch and run again by Mason Martin. This kid is electric tonight.
Yeah, he doesn't need a lot of room. If he gets the slightest opening, he can take advantage of it. He's got good speed.
So the story of the first half of the Red Devil offense is Jaden Martin. The story of the second half is Mason Martin. Atkins looking to convert them. They're 2-point here, and they are not going to get it in. Atkins here with the lead. 1:58 left in the 3rd quarter. Atkins up 18-12 against the Mustangs.
We'll take a 1-minute break, and we'll come back with the kickoff. You're listening to Red Devil Football on 100.9 Quick FM and Red Devil Media Productions.
And we are back here with the kickoff. Kenny Rivas is back, number 5 for the Red Devils, ready to get this thing off. Atkins has just scored. With a minute 58 left in the third, Atkins leads 18-12. Rivas back to kick. He is on his way. Line drive kick. Caught at the 10-yard line. Let's see if Atkins can get him contained. Man, he is slippery. And there Atkins gets him stopped. Stopped around the 33-yard line. Better.
It's improvement.
It is.
Jacob Soji is tough to bring down when he fields that kick. He got that one at the 10-yard line. You mentioned it was kind of a line drive kick. He caught it on the run at the 10. Able to make a man miss, get outside and pick up a few extra yards. Perryville starts this possession just inside their own 35-yard line.
We have a Red Devil that's a little slow getting up. That is number 23, Dakota Ham. A little slow getting up. Scott, you're exactly right about number 5, Jacob Soji for the Perryville Mustangs. We don't have his height and his weight listed here on the roster, but that kid is a brick house moving down the field.
Yeah, he got good speed and very elusive. Red Devils had a hard time wrapping him up and bringing him down tonight in that kickoff game.
Mustangs have the ball. Jacob Frith back to receive. Looks to a receiver. He's got Soji on the left side. Atkins with the stop, but not before he picks up about 7 or 8 yards here, bringing it down to the 40-yard line. It's going to be second and short here for the Mustangs.
That's actually number 6, Wyatt Drennan for the Mustangs.
My apologies.
His jersey's tucked up in the back. Kind of looks like a 5. That's Soji's number. We've seen enough of Soji tonight.
We have seen plenty of Soji. I just assume it's Soji at this point. Frith back to have the ball. Fakes a handoff. Looks to his right. He's buying time with his legs. And there is a sack by the Red Devils.
Number 56, Sawyer Bartlett.
Sawyer Bartlett coming up big as a sophomore. 5'11", 205. Big boy getting down there, taking down the Mustangs offense.
That's a huge loss for the Mustangs. That's going to put them at a third and about 15. Loss of about 8 yards. That sack by Bartlett.
Tough sack, too. He really brought him around town.
Yeah, fought off the block. Frith, as we mentioned tonight, good at moving around in that pocket, buying some time. Sawyer Bartlett stuck with it, able to bring him down.
Perryville motioning out of a full house formation, looking to his left. Frith is looking to uncork one, and he does to his right side. Receiver open. Got some good blocking there. Atkins trying to chase him down. Looks like they push him out of bounds, but not before he gets down near the red zone. Busted coverage there by the Red Devils.
Number 2, Tyler Hester on the reception. Lucas Sims able to push him out of bounds, and they've got a Red Devil down on the far side. Looks like they're stretching him out, maybe a cramp. Coach Jeff Harrelson making his way over there to tend to the injured Red Devil. Meanwhile, the horn has sounded to end the third quarter. So when we come back, we're going to flip into the field and start the fourth quarter. Perryville driving. Red Devils lead 18-12. You're listening to Red Devil Football on 100.9 Quick FM and Red Devil Media Productions.
100.9 Quick FM.
And we are back here at Red Devil football to start the fourth quarter. Perryville is looking to drive their way. They are inside the red zone down to the Red Devil 15, at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, big play right before the end of the third quarter there to convert.
Frith rolls to his left side. He's got room to run if he wants it, but he does not. He's got a man wide open in the end zone. That's a touchdown for the Perryville Mustangs. That ties it up here tonight. Atkins, Perryville, both with 18. Red Devil defense just didn't have anybody back there. They were all coming up and looking for somebody going short. They had a man just standing back there, wide open.
Yeah, Frith was a sprint out to the left. Had a man standing wide open in the back corner of the end zone. Able to put the ball right on the numbers. Perryville ties it up at 18 with the first play of the fourth quarter.
He was a man on an island back there. They threw him a line. He caught it.
A man unto himself.
Look at the converted two-point conversion here is Perryville, and they miss it. Atkins defense holds strong here, and we will continue into the fourth quarter. 11 minutes, 54 seconds left on the clock. It is all tied up here in Perryville, 18-18.
Red Devil defense did a pretty good job to end that third quarter, bottling Perryville up, but right at the end, right before the horn sound at the end of the third quarter, again, Frith buying time with his feet, scrambling out, found an open man, broke a couple of tackles, and put him in business inside the Red Devil 20. They were able to convert at the beginning of the fourth quarter to tie us up at 18. Red Devil set to receive the kickoff here. Let's see what we can do to answer back. We'll get the ball back in our hands.
Red Devils kickoff team is put it onto the field. Perryville is already there.
Number 5, Jacob Soji, teeing it up for the Mustangs. He's done a lot of damage on the receiving end of kickoffs. He's going to try to pin the Red Devils here by kicking it to them.
Red Devils have Mason Martin, Jaden Martin, and Tanner Hegland back to receive this kick. Gotta think it's probably going to Mason Martin here. This kid has been electric this second half. Looks like they're going to be pooching this kick over to the left side of the field.
They're lining up that way.
Yeah, they are not kicking to the mark. That ball is going to go out of bounds.
Give the Red Devils good starting field position to begin this drive.
It's going to bring it out to, now it's about the 35-yard line.
You can't make a new kick.
The referees have placed the ball right at the 35.
Yeah, when the free kick out of bounds, you have some options. You can make them free kick. You can take it at the 35 if it goes beyond that, or you can add 5 yards if it doesn't. So
over the ball, we've got center Austin McCurry getting ready to snap this back to Cole Crawford. Handoff right there. Looking, dodging, juking, making some big moves. Picked up some hard-fought yardage there for number 29, Mason Martin.
Yeah, it didn't look like he had anywhere to run, and he ends up picking up 4 yards. His ability to find the smallest crease is just incredible.
Offensive line of the Red Devils still holding and looking strong here. Crawford hands off again, this time to Jaden Martin, the other brother, pushing forward. Gets down to the 50-yard line.
Big hole up the middle. Jaden, bigger, more physical back. Just follows his offensive line right up the middle.
6 foot, 190 pounds. It's a big kid. Big, powerful running.
First down, Red Devils, ball at the 50-yard line.
Crawford receives the snap. Handoff again to Mason Martin. Takes it right up the middle. More hard running by the Martin brothers.
Mason picked up 8 on that one. Bring up 2nd and 2.
And while they run the ball, this clock is ticking away. We've got 10 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the fourth quarter where we are still all tied up here in Perryville. Perryville's defense looking to get a stop here. Atkins is having their way. Handoff to Jaden Martin. We're just alternating Martin brothers, and another hard run. First down for the Red Devils.
The Devil offensive line beginning to kind of impose their will, making a push. Martin brothers so far, these last few carries, haven't been contacted until they get to that second level.
And there we go, another offsides. Cole Crawford doing a great job showing some leadership, drawing those guys off.
It was number 55, Noah Grissoff, that he was able to draw with the hard count.
It's been a solid drive by the Red Devils, making some good headway down the field. They are now going to set up 1st and 5 at the 29-yard line. Crawford talking to his wide receiver on the right side. Ready to receive the snap. He's got it. Fakes a handoff. Tosses it over the middle to Jaden Martin. Makes some moves. Martin trying to get to the sideline. That's going to be a first down Red Devils as he makes it inside the red zone.
We talked about how physical Jaden is right there. He showed some patience. Caught the ball, waited for a block. Once he saw that block develop, he was able to find some room and pick up a first down before being pushed out of bounds. Stops the clock at 9:54. Red Devils with 1st and 10 inside the 20.
Crawford to receive the snap. He does. He hands it off. Jaden Martin. There's nowhere to go. He's trying to make some moves. He's going to be lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage. Scott, you mentioned Jaden Martin and the patience that he showed on that last run before this one. And patience is one of the hardest things you can teach a young player. Be wait on your blockers.
Yeah, whether you're talking about a running play or, catching a screen pass like he did there, your instinct is to just immediately hit the hole. And it does take some experience, take some wisdom, and Jaden has that as a senior to just kind of wait and let the play develop, let the blocks set up, and did a nice job. He actually fell forward there for about a half yard.
Jaden Martin's helmet came off, so rest to come out of the game. Cole snaps the ball, empty backfield. He gets it over to his receiver on the right side. That's Mason Martin. Gets some hard yardage there.
We do have a flag down on the right side. Davin Bowden blocked 2 people. He ended up putting Connor Frith, number 12, and number 56, Wyatt Mockin, on the ground. And the flag is in that area, and they may get Davin for a hold. Well,
Davin Bowden standing at 195 pounds is not small for a wide receiver. Looking at him on the field, he looks like he can block 2 young men. But you are right. It is going to be a hold for the Red Devils. Going to bring it back to about their 29-yard line. Red Devils making some substitutions here. Number 7, Ethan Lindboom, coming onto the field.
Tanner Hageman, Ethan Lindboom, and Alan Horn. Trips to the left. Davin Bowden alone to the right.
Jaden Martin in the backfield next to Cole Crawford. Snaps the ball. Crawford looks to his left side, rolls to the left. Uncorks one, gets it. Tremendous catch by Tanner Hageman. The ball has come loose. And it looks like Perryville has fallen on top of the ball again. Atkins. Man, that ball is like a greasy pig right now.
Yeah, the turnover bug has really bit the Red Devils tonight.
We've got a Red Devil down here. Got a Red Devil down on the field.
While they tend to the injured Red Devil, we're going going to take a 30-second break. We'll be back 30 seconds. Red Devil football.
We are back here with Atkins Red Devil football. Atkins just coughed up the ghost down here inside their own red zone. Perryville is going to take over the ball down around their 10-yard line. We are tied here 18-18 with 8 minutes and 32 seconds left on the clock. I imagine Perryville is going to be looking to move the ball. Takes the snap, looks to his left, there's nothing there, rolls to the right, Atkins is chasing him out. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, what a face mask. My goodness. Yeah, that's going to be a face mask against the Red Devils. Connor Frith had his helmet turned sideways on his head. My goodness. We've got an injury on the field over here.
That's Frith who's down.
Connor Frith is down on the field over here right next to the 10-yard line after taking that harsh hit.
Yeah, the defender, which I think was Sorry Bartlett, came in high and got hold of the face mask, twisted him around. While they tend to the injured Mustang, we're going to take a 30-second break. We'll be back with Red Devil football on 100.9 Quick FM and Red Devil Media Productions. We think it's Connor Frith, the quarterback, who was wrestled out of bounds, and Red Devil defender got a little high on the tackle and like twisted his helmet around. We got him sitting up over here on the near side of our broadcast position, down around the 10-yard line. Still tending to him. I'm going to get him up on his feet now. That is Frith, Connor Frith, the senior quarterback for the Perryville Mustangs. Frith going to walk back to the Perryville sideline. That's a good sign. Fans on both sides give him a standing ovation. So the penalty took place there on the 10-yard line. That's where the flag was thrown. Mark off 15 yards. Perryville with possession of the ball now, sitting at the 26-yard line, where they'll have 1st and 10.
So coming in for quarterback here for Perryville, looks to be number 20, Jonathan Pritchard. Jonathan Pritchard coming in for at quarterback. no, maybe not Pritchard. Pritchard's the man to the right. That is number 2 coming in as quarterback, and he is making a great run for the Mustangs. That is Tyler Hester. And Hester was the man who earlier has dashed the Red Devils defense with his legs a few times.
Hester able to get loose there and pick up a lot of yards, but he was chased down from behind by number 60. That's Dayton Rawlings. Dayton from his defensive tackle position, and you know he's there on the defensive line, but he is a speedster, believe it or not. He actually sprinted for the track team. Really? Yeah. He's got great speed.
Usually you see linemen do shot put.
Yep. He's an anomaly.
Perryville moving the ball around. Had a little shovel pass there. Atkins looks to push him out somewhere around the 46-yard line. Still Tyler Hester in at quarterback.
Yeah, kind of an odd-looking play there. Hester going out to his left and kind of jumped and pitched the ball out to number 6. That's Wyatt Brennan. Perryville able to pick up the first down. But a dangerous pitch there.
You know, Atkins settled in and looking at Frith the entire game, and now you've got a backup coming in, and he's definitely a different type of player.
Hester, a sophomore.
Hester receives the pass. It's low, and he fumbles it. He picks it up. He's looking.
He was on a knee. He was on a knee when he picked the snap up there, so he's going to be down.
It's going to be a tremendous loss of yardage there for the Mustangs.
Yeah, he was at about the 36.
It'll be about 2nd and 18, 2nd and 19 for the Mustangs. Atkins Red Devil defense trying to make a stop here.
Frith comes back on for the Mustangs.
Wow.
Quarterback.
Wow. Talk about tough.
Tough kid.
Tough as a $2 steak at a gas station. Connor Frith has come back into the game. He's trying to finish this thing out.
He's got the Perryville student section fired up.
Yeah, he does. Connor Frith takes a snap. Looks to make a move with his legs, and he does. Connor Frith moving down the field is tripped up right at the first down line. We'll see what happens. We've got a couple of players down. The Red Devil is missing his helmet down here, and I don't even see his helmet. Oh, it's right behind him.
That's Solomon Lytle, I believe.
Solomon?
Yeah, it is Solomon Lytle, number 70, who lost his helmet. Connor Frith able to make it happen with his legs there. Does pick up enough for the first down. Ball sitting right at the Red Devil 45. And Solomon Lytle is being helped off the field.
It looks like they're trying to keep going. We're trying to get a player off the field here. Red Devil's trying to get a player off the field that was injured. There we go. Hester back to receive this snap for the Mustangs. Hands it off right down the middle, and he gets past the first line of defense, is wrestled down. Hard tackle there by the Red Devils, number 56, Sawyer Bartlett. The sophomore coming up with a big tackle, but not before the Mustangs get down about 8 yards.
Bring up second and about 2. 6:04 left on the fourth quarter clock. Clock is moving.
There is number 12. Connor Frith almost threw the Red Devil defense offsides again tonight. They caught themselves. Frith looking to make something happen here. He hands it off. He is met at the line by the Red Devil defense, going absolutely nowhere.
John Davis read that all the way.
That is big John Davis, Jr., linebacker, coming in clutch for the Red Devil defense.
Came in from that left linebacker position, outside linebacker. Blew that play up. Perryville 3rd and 3 here. Big play for the Red Devil defense.
Frith back to pass. He is going to get sacked in the backfield by the Atkins Red Devil defense.
Austin Martin Trussell coming in the other linebacker position.
AMT coming in, showing them why Atkins has these big three linebackers. The dynamic trio, if you will. Tremendous move and pressure. And if it wasn't AMT, there was other guys coming behind it.
John Davis came from the left side, AMT from the right side, both of them outside linebacker positions. Read that play all the way. Connor Frith had nowhere to go. Big loss, back-to-back big losses for Perryville. Puts in 4th and long.
It'll be about 4th and 13 for Perryville here with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. And here comes the punt. High kick over on the left side. Red Devils look alive, but that's going to be out of bounds around the 25-yard line. Atkins is going to take over right there.
They're actually going to spot that about the 30. I think it hit the field house over there. So
good stop by the Red Devil defense.
a little bend but don't break action there.
I was almost sure Connor Frith coming back in had those fans riled up. It was a hotbed over there for a second.
Well, his first play in, he picks up 15, 20 yards with his legs and looked like they were moving in the right direction. Red Devil defense rises to the occasion.
Cole Crawford back to the Red Devils. He's looking for a man. Jaden Martin with a block on the... There we go. He's got it wide open. Tremendous catch by number 21, Davin Bowden. Great catch. Red Devils moving the ball down the field. He gets it down to about the 42-yard line of Perryville over midfield.
And Davin Bowden got absolutely tattooed as he dropped the ball in and able to hold on to it. Great catch. Great job of holding on and absorbing the impact. Big conversion for the Red Devils.
Cole Crawford receives the hike. Here we go, looking for a man. He's got a receiver right there for a screen. It is bobbled, but he cannot reel it in. He took a shot there, and we've got a penalty flag on the play. That was number 15, Alan Horn, that took a shot right there, right on the sideline, and the referee just threw a flag. We'll see what they call.
I think they're going to get Jacob Soji for some extracurriculars there. He's the one who put the big hit on Alan Horn, and I think he got over the top of him and kind of let him know about it.
College giving them the business just a little bit.
A little bit of business.
Waiting for the call from the referees.
Speaking of Alan Horn, I want to give a shout out to his mom, Nikki, who is recovering from knee surgery. Not able to be at the game tonight. I know she's watching and listening, and Nikki, we hope you get well soon.
Nikki added me on Facebook a few weeks ago, and I have learned about her. She is one of the biggest Red Devil supporters I've ever seen. Lived in this town for 11 years. Never seen such support.
If she were here tonight, she'd be very vocal. You'd hear her. If you listen real close, you might be able to hear her all the way from Atkins, but I'm sure she's yelling, especially when they took a shot like that at her baby.
Yeah, I am absolutely sure of that.
We still got some discussion going on. We got two Perryville coaches who are out almost to the hash, and they're throwing their hands up. They're not happy with the explanation they're getting from our referee, Ms. Roniette, tonight.
Got some arguments that are happening here.
We're going to have a penalty marked off. We still haven't seen an indication of what the penalty is. Unsportsmanlike conduct. So it's going to be a big 15-yard penalty.
It's going to be an automatic first down for the Red Devils as well.
Perryville side not happy about that, but that happened right over here on our sideline. Alan Horn went up to make a catch, modeled it. Jacob Soji came in, gave him a shot, and then told him about it. And I think what happened after the play is really where the 15-yard penalty came in. I'm sure the folks on the far side didn't see any of that.
I'm sure they absolutely disagree with that call. Cole Crawford here, 1st and 10 for the Red Devils, down at about the 27-yard line, looking to get into the end zone. Crawford hands it off to the younger Martin brother. He is pushing. Red Devil offensive line is pushing this thing. The referee's going to blow it dead.
The pile was still moving.
They called that one a little early there, ref. Let the boys wrestle a little bit.
Let them push. Mason Martin able to pick up about 7 on that.
They're bringing up 2nd and 3 for the Red Devils. Down at about the 21-yard line.
Clock is moving. 3:30 left in the ball game. We're tied at 18.
Cole Cole Crawford receives it again, hands it off to Mason Martin. He is moving the ball again. That should be enough for a Red Devil first down. Going to bring it to 1st and 10 right down around the, 16-yard line?
Yeah, just outside the 15. Chance Coffin, Sawyer Bartlett, Austin McCurry get a push on the left side. Mason Martin tucking right in behind them, picking up the first down. 3 minutes left in the ball game.
Still tied 18-18 here. Clock is ticking away, 2:55 and counting. The Red Devils look to the sideline for their play call. Cole Crawford comes up behind the center to take the snap. There's the snap. Hands it to Jaden Martin. Jaden Martin is met in the backfield. Nowhere to go.
Number 72, Jordan Williams, coming up to make the stop for the Perryville Mustangs. You're right, Zach. Jaden had nowhere to go.
He was a nowhere man in a nowhere land.
Swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage, loss of about 3.
One of the few times that Red Devil offensive line has let somebody get right up the middle on him. Perryville does have some big boys over there. Crawford, empty backfield. Ready to get this going. About 2nd and 13 for the Red Devils. 2nd and 15 says the clock. Got a minute 50 left here. 13 on the play clock. Snaps the ball. Looking for the receiver. There's nobody there. He uncorks one down to the end zone. That is a, what are they going to call it?
Touchdown.
That is a touchdown, Red Devils. It looks like number 21, Davin Bowden.
It is, Davin Bowden came down with that ball. That was a beautiful pass by Cole Crawford. Dancing around in the pocket, buying some time, found Davin Bowden in the back of the end zone. Bowden goes up, high points the ball, brings it down with his feet in bounds, and the Red Devils have the lead 24-18 with 1:36 left in regulation.
It is what a pass from Cole Crawford. What an even greater catch from Davin Bowden. They're trying here to convert this extra point. There's a snap. Kick is up. And it is good. The first extra point of the night comes under the leg of number 5, Mr. Kenny Rivas.
With that, the Red Devils take a 25-18 lead. We're going to take a 1-minute break. We'll be back with Red Devil football on 100.9 Quick FM and Red Devil Media Productions.
Here, Atkins has scored. It is now 25-18. Atkins with the lead. We've got a minute 36 here left. Kenny Rivas back to kick for the Red Devils.
And the Red Devils have got to find a way to stop number 5, Jacob Soji, who has gashed them all night on the kick returns.
I'm not going to lie, looking at him, he looks like a man on a mission back there. There's the kick from Rivas. He slipped and fell down. That does not go to Soji. There's the tackle brought to a stop around the 39 or 40-yard line. We've got a penalty. Looks like it's going to be some unsportsmanlike conduct there. Got some extracurricular activity going on there.
That was number 14, Ethan Evans, on the return for the Red Devils. And like you said, Zach, I think just as the Red Devils were getting up off the pile, kind of gave him a shove.
Yep. Can't do that. Cannot do that.
Had trouble all night with kick coverage. and had them stop there at the 40, and they're going to give them 15 yards. So it's going to set Perryville up inside Red Devil territory at the 45 with a minute and 29 seconds left. Not what you want to have happen. This puts the offense in a bad position.
Coach Dobbs was getting in with Sawyer Bartlett, a sophomore defender that has done so well tonight, giving him a little extra motivation on this drive. But here Connor Frith is trying to make a legacy-establishing drive here at the end of this game. Bartlett runs to his left side. He swings left. He's looking for a man. He's got a guy wide open on the sidelines. They're going to run out of bounds around the 30.
It's number 2, Tyler Hester.
Hester doing a little bit of it all for the Mustangs tonight. Coming in a clutch for them. Coming in playing quarterback when Frith went down.
Hester's just a sophomore.
Cade Bartley coming in for the play. Atkins is up 25-18. We got a minute 19 left here. 1st and 10 on about the 30-yard line. Frith has got an empty backfield. He takes the ball. Looks for a man. He's got pressure. Red Devils have pressure on him. He's going to take it himself. Goes down the sideline. He steps out of bounds just before the 20-yard line.
They're going to mark him out at about the 24. So it's going to be 2nd down and about 3. Clock stops at 1:12. Red Devils hold a 25-18 lead. Perryville hoping to put a score on the board here. Possibly tie or even take the lead if they convert a 2-point conversion. Frith needs to stop.
Frith back to get the ball. He receives the snap, and the Devils have busted open. He's got pressure a lot. He just throws this one away. Just throws it away. Atkins coaches are looking for a flag for intentional grounding, and it doesn't look like they're going to get it.
He did have Hester over in the area. Hester was about the 15-yard line. Ball floated out of bounds at about the 25. There's another Perryville player over there. Looks like number 7, Grant Griffith.
Had a host of Red Devils back there in his face. The Bartlett brothers, 2 of those.
Yes, Cade and Sawyer both applying pressure. Big 3rd down, 3rd and 3 here for the Mustangs.
Got a minute 6 left on the clock. Mustangs spread out from their formation. Frith gets ready to take the snap. He has it. He rolls to the right, looking. He's going to take it himself. He pitches the ball. That is number 5, Soji, and that is going to be a hold.
That is a blatant hold on the outside there.
They are not going to call it. That's a touchdown.
I do not understand. You can't call that.
That's going to be a touchdown for Perryville. That holding call is going to go uncalled. That is a touchdown for Perryville Mustangs, the last thing the Red Devils wanted. Well, actually, it looks like the referees have some discussions going on here.
I don't see a flag on the field, so I think probably this official is telling the white hat, he's telling the referee that he's probably complaining about the Red Devil coaches who were lobbying passionately for a flag there, and they had every right to.
Here comes the referee is coming over to the Atkins sideline to give the verdict, and the Atkins coaches are not ready for this business. That is no explanation from the referee who just throws his hands up.
He did throw his flag. He just picked his flag up.
He picked his flag up. There was a penalty on the play. Coach Dobbs giving him the business. Coach Dobbs giving him the business here. They did throw a flag.
These officials have lost control of this game.
Coach Dobbs is not happy at all.
He has every right to be. There's a blatant hold out here on the right side. A late pitch by Connor Frith to number 5, Jacob Soji, and the only Red Devil who had a chance was absolutely horse-collared. And the official on the near side saw it, threw his flag. I couldn't see it because we're so close to the sideline here, and he threw it right on the sideline. He picks the flag up after discussion with the white hat, and Perryville is going to have 6 on the board. It's 25-24 Red Devils with a 1-point lead, 1:06 left in regulation. It looks like Perryville is going to line up to try to convert for 2 here and take the lead.
Red Devil defense is going to have to hold strong here. They have a 1-point lead with a minute 6 left. This is game time right here, ladies and gentlemen. as here they go. Perryville comes down with a bunch formation down here at the goal line. They hand the ball off. No, they don't. They keep it. They kept it. It is no good.
Incomplete.
Incomplete. Atkins is going to get this ball back with 1 minute and 6 seconds left.
Perryville denied on the 2-point conversion attempt. So our score remains Red Devils 25, Mustangs 24. 1 minute 6 seconds left on the clock. Perryville will kick off to the Red Devils. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and we'll be back with Red Devil football on 100.9 Quick FM and Red Devil Media Productions.
We are back here live, Red Devil football. We've got 1 minute and 6 seconds left here. Perryville is going to be kicking this ball off. I'm sure trying to get an onside kick. Man, what a stop by the Red Devil defense. Atkins leads 25-24. There's some confusion there by the Atkins special team unit.
Yeah, Atkins trying to get some hands people on the field. Bringing Cole Crawford, the quarterback, on. You got to expect that Perryville is going to squib this kick, maybe try to cover an onside kick.
Perryville set the kick. There it is, onside. It's going to be recovered. It is going to be recovered. Who is that?
That's Lucas Sims.
That is number 80, Lucas Sims, who recovers the onside kick. I've got eye shot of his dad. I know we've got some proud parents over here recovering that.
Good job by Lucas Sims.
Lucas looks to have taken a shot. He's going to be coming off the field here under his own power, but he looks to have taken a shot on that play.
Yeah, Perryville just trying to dislodge the ball. The Red Devils retain possession, just a tick over 1 minute on the clock. Fourth quarter, Atkins with a 1-point lead, 25-24. Red Devils have possession at the Perryville 47.
Perryville still has all their timeouts. Atkins is going to try to run the ball here, kill the clock, and you can imagine there's the first timeout by Perryville. That's going to be 55 seconds left on the clock. Atkins with a 1-point lead here. Not much actually lost yards on that play. Going to be 2nd and 11 for the Red Devils after this timeout.
Yeah, the thing here is just making sure you secure the ball. Don't put the ball on the ground. First down would be great.
A first down would seal it. If they could get a first down, that would steal the game.
Yeah, Perryville still with 2 timeouts in their pockets. We're going to take a 30-second break. We'll be back with Red Devil football on 100.9 Quick FM and Red Devil Media Productions.
Back here in the fourth quarter, it's going to be 2nd and 11 for the Red Devils. There's 55 seconds left on the clock. Atkins leads 25-24. They're trying to kill the clock here so Perryville doesn't get it back. That's going to be a false start on the Red Devils. That is not what you wanted.
Yeah, trying to draw them off there with the hard count and Cade Bartlett. Set the pull on that play, got away a little early.
That is not what the Red Devils wanted to see. They're going to back it up about 5 yards. Going to set up here second and 16. Second and 16 on their own 47-yard line. Crawford in the backfield with Mason Martin next to him. Handoff to Mason Martin. He's gonna have a little bit of room. He's gonna run a little bit, juking around. Mason Martin, they're pushing the pile now. There it is. What a run, making something out of nothing.
Chicken salad out of chicken feathers.
That's okay. That's right. Making lemonade out of oranges.
Mason bottled up at about the 45, the Perryville 45, and the pile just pushed on ahead to about the 37, giving Red Devils much more manageable third down and about 3 or 4 here.
Now he made something out of nothing with that right there.
He did.
In the Bible, we would call that ex nihilo. He made something out of nothing. That was great moves there by Mason Martin to get Atkins down to a very manageable, looks about 3rd and 3. 43 seconds left on the clock here. Atkins leads by 1. Perryville will have 1 timeout when we come back from this break.
Keep it right here as the teams are getting ready to break the timeout huddle. The Red Devils still getting some last-minute instruction here from Coach Dobbs, and I'm sure he's telling them whatever you do, hold on to the football.
Iron grip on that football.
3 points of contact.
That's right.
First down for the Red Devils would seal this thing, put it away.
Got to hold on to that ball like it's the last hoagie sandwich at the reunion. You got to hold on to the ball. Crawford takes it. He's going to take it up the middle. Design QB run. He is going to make a couple of yards. I'm not sure it's enough to get a first down.
I think he's going to be about a yard short.
They're showing 4th and 1 here.
Crawford took a shot. He's a little slow getting up. He was going to use their last timeout.
So here we are. This is game time. 4th and 1. Atkins has a decision to make. Perryville has no more timeouts. If Atkins gets a first down here, they will seal the victory.
Red Devils going to talk it over. We're going to take a 30-second break while they do. We're back with Red Devil football in 30 seconds on 109.9 Quick FM and Red Devil Media Production.
Back here, this 4th and 1. Red Devils have the ball. 35 seconds left on the clock. Atkins up 1 against Perryville.
With 1 here.
Oh, offside by Perryville. That's an automatic first down for the Red Devils. This should seal the deal for Atkins. Coach Dobbs is set for his first win as a head coach.
What do you dial up in a timeout when you're looking at 4th and 1? How about a hard count?
Hard count.
See if you can convert on the penalty. And they do it. Wyatt Drennan jumped across the line of scrimmage. Cole Crawford takes the knee.
And that is going to be it for the Red Devils here. We will not have to snap it again. What a tremendous win. Congratulations to Coach Austin Dobbs for his first win as a head coach. Congratulations back to Red Devils. What a tremendous effort and game by the Perryville Mustangs. Man, what a great week 0 in high school football, Scott.
Couldn't ask for a better start to this season. I said before, Zach, that it's always close when Perryville and Atkins play. It always comes down to these last possessions, and the Red Devils able to convert there, drawing them off sides with a penalty there on the hard count. Just a good heads-up call by Coach Dobbs, and great execution by the Red Devils holding their water on the offensive line. Cole with the hard count. pick up that 5-yard penalty, first down, and that ends the ball game. Red Devils win at 25-24. We're going to take a 3-minute break. We'll come back and wrap this thing up for you. You're listening to Red Devil Football on 100.9 Quick FM and Red Devil Media Productions. And that is the end of the game here. Atkins finishes this thing up, and they finish it off 25-24. Hard-fought victory against the Perryville Mustangs. Scott, you said it at the beginning of the game, and you said it right. Every time Atkins and Perryville play, it's a battle. It comes down usually to that last possession, and that's the way it was tonight. Atkins able to convert. Both teams had trouble converting extra points tonight. Atkins able to get the ball through the uprights. King Rivas put his left foot into it, got the crucial point after the last touchdown to give the Red Devils a 25-18 lead at that point. Perryville scores to make it 25-24. They failed to convert on a 2-point try that would have given them the lead. Atkins gets the ball back and is able to convert with a hard count and draw Perryville offsides to run the clock out, come away victorious 25-24. Coach Austin Dobbs gets his first win as a head coach in his first attempt. He's got to be thinking, man, this is easy. Yes, sir. Hey, I remember when Austin was in high school. Yeah. He was a beast of an offensive lineman back in those days. And I'm so excited to see his passion, and not just Austin's passion, but the passion that the entire coaching staff at Atkins has to not just making these guys good football players, but they are really focused on developing good character with these young men. Absolutely. And hats off to this coaching staff. They They worked so hard this summer, hard in the off season, and like you said, not just teaching X's and O's, but making sure that they're building these players into great young men and men of character and integrity, and just so excited for this team to get off to a 1-0 start. We haven't had a 1-0 start in quite a while.
It's been a minute.
It feels good. Week 0, good to us this year. Red Devils moved to 1-0. As we welcome you into the Olathe Realty broadcast booth. Buying or selling your home has never been easier. Contact our friends at Olathe Realty. Zach, let's talk about some of the impact players for tonight. Who stood out to you for this Red Devil team?
Man, how can you talk about tonight without talking about the Martin brothers? Jaden and Mason Martin were at different times able to have their way with that Perryville defense.
Yeah, both of them ran the ball really, really well. Caught some passes and able to make some moves and get into the open field. Great job by them on the offense. Cole Crawford, man, he came up clutch, made 2 big throws down the stretch there, and both of those were hauled in by number 21, Davin Mountain, the junior receiver. Made one catch across the middle to convert a first down, took a shot. I mean, absolutely tattooed and held onto the ball, converted the first down, kept the Red Devil drive moving, and then Cole scrambling, found Davin in the end zone for the touchdown, the go-ahead touchdown there, and that was enough for the Red Devils to bring home a victory by 25-24.
You're exactly right. And over on the defensive side of the ball, man, there was a lot of guys who made some contributions, but we have to talk about the linebacker position. John Davis, Austin Martin, Trussell, AMT, and Blake Mitchell. Those 3 guys made a tremendous impact tonight attacking after that quarterback.
Yeah, John Davis came up with an interception in the first half, but those guys were all over the place. You know, anytime Perryville had the ball, they were around it, made a lot of big plays, a lot of big tackles back-to-back. John Davis picked up a sack, and then AMT picked up a deep sack that kind of put Perryville in the hole and forced them to punt. You know, this is a good Perryville football team.
Yeah, it is.
This is a team that went into the playoffs, second week of the playoffs last year, and they have a lot of senior leadership on this team. Got a coach who's in his second year, had a lot of success. They went 8-4 last year. They're looking to build on that. So this is a big win for these Atkins Red Devils.
That's right. And Perryville, players of the game, how can you've got to talk about Connor Frith.
Yeah, Connor Frith is absolutely tough as nails. He took a hard hit down here trying to make a few extra yards and had to be helped off the field, came back and had a long run that fired the crowd up, and just all night long he was on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. He did a great job.
And Jacob Soji as well, man. He was Connor Frith's partner in crime tonight. Those guys hand in hand gave the Red Devils fits all night. Like you said, Connor Frith tougher than a $3 gas station steak, man. He took that hard shot, came back in, got his team rallied around him. Just was not quite enough. The Atkins Red Devils were able to overcome some adversity with the referees down there and overcame it all with a huge win to get for Coach Dobbs.
Yeah, 1-0 start to the season, and next week we're playing at home. Big rivalry game, Polk County Rivals Cup game against the Dover Pirates as they make a short trip down from northern Polk County to come down and play the Red Devils. It's been a while since the Red Devils have taken the Rivals Cup. I got a feeling this is our year, Zach.
I got a feeling it's going to be a very aggressive, very, very hard-fought football game next Friday night. I always look forward to the Rivals Cup between Atkins and Dover. I know there is a long history there between those 2 teams, and there is no feelings that have been lost.
No love lost between the 2 teams. It'll be a good contest next week, and we hope you'll join us on Red Devil Media Productions and 100.9 Quick FM. I want to thank everybody for listening tonight. We had some sound issues at the beginning. It's week 0. We're trying to get our bearings. We're trying to get things going. Thank you for being patient with us, sticking with us. I want to thank everybody at River Valley Radio for their work tonight behind the scenes. Thank our production crew here, Red Devil Media Productions, for what they've done with the live stream. And we hope you'll join us next week. I'm Scott Warren, and Zach Phillips was the man with the play-by-play call tonight. And Red Devils leave here with a 25-24 victory.